Welcome along to this video, and today you are going to join me and my family on a trip to Duinrell in Holland. This is a theme park, water park we headed to at the end of August to enjoy for the week. It was also the perfect opportunity for me to carry on with my lensless theme park series, which I've slowly been added to over the last year and a bit, I suppose. So with me I had my RealitySoSubtle 6x6F loaded with Kodak Gold. For my first two shots I was on this cycling monorail. I used the GoPro clamp, which has been absolutely fantastic with the 6x6. So I tried two shots of this one. The first one I kind of stumbled with the shuttle a little bit, which gave me actually my favourite image out of the two. My second one, again, these were about a 1 second exposure, so I had to be quite quick. Second one I slowed up for, and I got this. Next up, we were at the bumper boats. The bumper boats were such good fun. I opted for a photo down the bottom here. I kind of wish I'd found a higher advantage point. I used an ND8 filter to drag out that exposure a little bit, as I wanted something more than a second, just to get that nice motion in the water of the boats bobbing into each other. Now moving on to this swingy round thing. This is where my timing issues started to go wrong a little bit. I had a bit of an issue with getting the timing right. Now this actually rises quite high, and all the time I was setting up the shot it was at a decent height, but by the time I took the exposure it had come all the way back down. So the final shot I actually really liked, but it certainly would have been a lot nicer if that thing was about twice the height, filling up the top part of that frame. But either so, happy with the photo on this one. This was up at an advantage point, a high point, and you can just see how flat Holland really is. So another shot with the GoPro clamp, again with the ND8 filter, just to drag out that exposure a little bit. It was more just so I could actually get out of the frame, because there wasn't much room around it. Now again for my badly timed shots. This mini carousel in this little cafe. I spent a lot of time setting up the shot, hoping that it would be revolving while everything else was nice and stationary. However, when I actually opened the shutter, the thing had stopped. So the final image didn't really have what I wanted. Yeah, I was hoping for a nice blur of motion in the middle there, but never mind. Moving on to this splash ride, absolutely love it. So for my first shot from here, I was up on this platform looking down on it. I had about a 1 second exposure. I was hoping just enough to catch for that motion of the water splashing over. And it seems to have worked. Now this ride was absolutely fantastic fun. The kids kept going on it over and over again, little catapults. I absolutely loved it as well. Some weird stuff around the theme park. Not sure what this is about. Or this coin pooing donkey. And not a clue, if I'm honest. But there were some spinny mushrooms, so again a perfect opportunity for some colour film and some motion. Now this was one of our favourite rides here. It was absolutely fantastic. You're in a little plane, you get to spin it around. With this, I was really trying to get the timing right. I set my pinhole camera kind of looking up, hoping to get the windsock in, and just as that ride reached its maximum height, just a quick 1 second exposure just to kind of get a bit of motion. I wasn't expecting much, but this is kind of what I was expecting. So back at this splash ride, I set the pinhole camera up for this other angle. Now this, it almost whipped it out of my hands. So I had about a 4 second exposure. Now the results from this were always going to be a bit interesting, but I'm actually really kind of pleased with how it came out. With the colour film, I was hoping to really get that splash logo pop through, but it's nice to get all that motion in the water and that bit of a splash in the centre. What I really quite like is the fact there was a nice sun patch just breaking through in the centre of that as well. So next up, with the GoPro clamp again, setting up this shot of the roller coaster coming by. The exposure was probably a bit too long for this. It needed to be a lot shorter, but I only had what I could get. So the actual image was a lot of just blur and a weird light leak as well. Not sure how that one got there. Off to this swingy ride. Now I hate these. I refuse to go on them. But capturing an image with them with a pinhole camera is all about timing. I had about a second exposure, and you've just got to wait for it to swing up to that high point where it just sits for about half a second and then comes back down. Now this was a quick chuck the camera on the floor and grab a photo of these blooms blowing in the wind. I spent far too long looking at opportunities for this, but this is what I got. My last day, it was heavy rain for quite a while, but the Ferris wheel was still going. So quick setup for that, looking straight up. We were soaked. But the final image I really quite like, especially with the tree that sits perfectly behind it and the nice motion of the things spinning around. That was my last image at the park. And for far too long in the bad weather, we spent far too much time in the shadow room, which was great fun. It got even more fun when we realised that we could write on the walls with the lights from our phones. Hey, so why not go check out my website, pinholelife.com. Now leaving Holland, we stopped at Bruges in Belgium. Now I only had a few shots left on my roll of film here, and the first one is from the market square, which was absolutely gorgeous, heaving with people. This one was from some random alleyway road which we were walking past, and quickly chucked the camera down to capture an image. This is some of the horse and carts down at the market square. Now my favourite image is, this was the behind the camera image, looking down one of the rivers with these planters, and really pleased with this one. Certainly one of my favourite images from the ship. And to finish the final frame on my camera, it was of this. We are a family that collect fridge magnets when we go away, so this is a new fridge magnet added to the collection. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed that. Really hope you enjoyed the photos. We had a fantastic time. I personally, with Bruges and Belgium, really want to go back, spend a good amount of time there, exploring the city and capturing some images. So hopefully that might be something I might do at some point. But otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you soon.